So is Ginobili going to start because of injuries?
No.
Who's going to start for you guys tonight?
Gary Neal.
Is there a difference, Pop, in the way you're developing this team at this time of the year as opposed to, I mean, you seem to, I don't know if you have a science to developing your team every year, but is each team different in the way you develop it early in the season?
You know, science is probably too strong a word. We're not that smart. Science would infer some sort of logic and consistent and intellectual concern, but we don't have that. It's all the same in the sense that we don't want to skip steps, and we start from scratch each year and just move through the fundamentals and at whatever pace we think the team can handle. So, the process is the same. Sometimes we start a little quicker record-wise, sometimes a little slower record-wise, but it doesn't change the process.
Is it moving faster this year, or the same?
It's moving pretty quickly because we're older than dirt, number one, and everybody's kind of back, and they know what the deal is. And Kawhi Leonard's been pretty quick on the uptake. I mean, he's out now, obviously, but he sort of had an introduction last year, without a camp or without a full season. We just kind of threw him out there, and the same with Boris Diaw. So this year, those are the two guys that needed the camp and to understand the system, and they've picked up pretty quickly.
Pop, Tony's offensive numbers in terms of scoring are down. Are you guys asking him to do something a little different this year, maybe, or?
No, and it's been a concern, and it's been mostly at the rim. He hasn't finished the same way he has in the past, and but he feels good and doesn't seem to be tired or anything like that. But it's something that he's aware of and that we know we need to score. He's a big part of that, and especially with Jackson and Leonard out, we really need him to score. So we're hoping that he'll get back on track.
Pop, your thoughts on Rajon Rondo as a point guard?
I don't see him as much as you all do, but I see the stats all the time, and it just boggles my mind. He's unbelievably special in that regard, and obviously it's a focus, for him and his talents. But even if it's your focus, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And everybody knows that's what he's trying to do, and he still does it. It's just incredible.
Your relationship with Doc Rivers, I know you didn't necessarily coach him, but he was part of the organization.
Yeah, he's a special guy. He's somebody who, everybody knew from day one that if he wanted to, he could coach and be one of the best because he has such an intuitive feel for the game, and he's so competitive on top of it. So, if you have that feel and you're competitive and you're as good as he is with relationships, you're going to be pretty damn successful.
How much pride do you take in the fact that a lot of your assistant coaches went on to become head coaches?
I'm careful not to be prideful about that. We've just done as good a job as we could in hiring people that we felt had gotten over themselves, wanted to do the work, and were looking to do it themselves someday. And been fortunate in who we had in the program, both managerially and coaching-wise.
Considering how many people you had on your team at once who went on to become head coaches, I mean, can you see that developing?
No, you don't notice it at the time. You notice people. And there's the Vinny Del Negros or Avery Johnsons or people like Steve Kerr who could do it tomorrow if he wanted to do it. But so far he's been smart enough not to do that, which is a tribute to him. But those kind of guys, when they come around, they're pretty obvious. And I think every team has one or two of those kind of guys that have a feel for it. You don't know if they really want to do it. Tim Duncan has a feel for the game, but I'd drop dead in my tracks if he ever coached a day because he's too smart to do it. And but they're on every team, just whether they want to do it or not.
Pop, as a fan of basketball, what do you think about Kevin Garnett versus Tim Duncan, just what they've meant to the game over the years?
I told somebody this morning, I think, I don't know if that person's here, you are here. They could look in the mirror and just realize they're both the same in so many respects as far as how they've run their lives in the NBA, how they've run their careers, in the sense that, you know, they're both competitive as hell. They both understand the game. They both love being on the court. Neither one of them is really that excited about the hoopla that is all around it. But they've also endured, you know, and taken care of their bodies, been careful about what they put in their bodies, you know, what they do in the summertime to prolong their careers. They're each the base of, you know, of each team, no matter how you slice it. You know, they're the heart and soul of their respective teams, and they can both, you know, feel very good about the stamp that they've both made, you know, in the league. But very, very similar in all those respects.
Coach, how much prep work goes into a guy like Kevin Garnett to defend, just stopping him from what he wants to do?
You know, at this stage, you just have to understand it's basketball. You know, there's nobody inventing things or that kind of stuff. You know, everybody knows what Kevin's going to do. Everybody knows what Manu Ginobili's going to do, or Paul Pierce. It doesn't mean you're going to stop them at all. And there's no new techniques to use to ensure that they're going to score 3 points each. You know, that kind of thing. So same old, and do the best job you can, and you hope that those players help you a little bit by not performing as well.
Do you notice if the Olympics, player playing in the Olympics affects how he is when he comes to camp in a good way or bad?
You know, from what I've seen, the guys coming back, I think it's been pretty positive for all of them. Maybe they would say that. I'm speaking from, you know, just looking at them play, but everybody who we've played that has had a player on it that was in the Olympics, I think, got better for it. I think they enjoyed the camaraderie, they enjoyed the winning. You know, they enjoyed being with Coach K, and I think that I don't see any harmful effects. I mean, we all still worry about every one of those guys getting hurt, obviously, but, you know, they're going to play someplace in the summertime anyway, and that's about as organized as you can get. So I don't think it was a negative. It's tough to play every 2 years and gather all those guys up, I think. You know, every 2 years again, every summer, again. That'll get old for some guys, I'm sure. But all in all, I think they all came back in pretty good shape.
It just seems like it's tough, really tough on soccer players. I don't know how much you pay attention to that sport, but it's better. It seems to be working better in this sport.
I'll just pass on that one. You gonna ask me about calculus next or something? We compare basketball and soccer. I don't know. I'd have to have some time on that. All right.